Respected and dear members of the Vidyapith Praktani, the moment I remember Deoghar Vidyapith, I can't but become nostalgic. I have had an association of a decade with this great institution. Deoghar Vidyapith is blessed by so many illustrious disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. It was conceived by Swami Suvirananda Maharaj. The land was given by Sion of Paikpara, who was a personal friend to Swami Akhandanandaji. The land and the Vidyapith has been consecrated by M, the recorder of the great gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and also by Yoginmaya and others. It's a great place which was blessed by Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj had a prophetic statement, should I say a vision, when he says, this Vidyapith has a great future. Great work will be done through this Vidyapith in due course. When we look back and when we look forward, standing at the juncture of its centenary, we can't but be convinced of Mahapurush Maharaj's great prophecy. Today, Vidyapith has made a niche for itself in the educational arena of the country. It is rejoicing that this institution of Jharkhand has been assessed as the fourth best school among the top 20 of India by India Today for consecutive 4 years. And this year, this has been rated as the best institution of Central Board of Secondary Education. It's a great way that the institution has come forward. I personally feel that the institution has worked for double centuries in course of a century now. This beautiful institution, its fragrance, its voice, its inborns, its structure, the White Palace, as the local people call it, is something extraordinary which none can forget about. Vidyapith has been nourished by so many illustrious monks of our order, many of whom was leader of the organization later on. This Vidyapith, Praktani, is going to have a virtual reunion. Vidyapith is so close to their heart. Vidyapith is so often remembered by them. They love speaking about Vidyapith. There are many stories around regarding our old boys' love for their alma mater. I am not going to narrate all those, but I am absolutely impressed that despite the COVID-19 pandemic, you have not lost the zeal to organize it, virtually though. And I am further encouraged to note that despite all these disruptions, our old boys from different nook and corners of the world have come to participate in this virtual exercise. Sri Ramakrishna used to climb to the top of a building, Kuthivari, as you know, at Dakshineshwar Kali temple, and standing at the terrace of Kuthivari, he used to give a clarion call. He used to tell, Tora ke kothay achis, I. Call for young men with great longing to come to him. Responding to his call, youth led by Narendranath Datta, later Swami Vivekananda and others, who would eventually accept his teachings and carry forward his message, came to Thakur. We believe that the eternal call is still reverberating across time and space, down the Ganges, attracting young men and women into his fold. In one way or another, all of you have also responded to that call and stepped into the portals of a Ramakrishna mission school as a young child or as a college-going youth. Many are called, they say, but few are chosen. You are the chosen few, fortunate few. Whether you realize it or not, the blessing of Sri Ramakrishna is on all of you. All of you are part of the Ramakrishna movement. On this happy occasion, we recall the noble act of your parents who were instrumental in putting you at Ramakrishna mission. You should be eternally grateful to them for this precious gift that has yoked you to a mighty spiritual movement. Yes, Ramakrishna mission is not just a place for imparting secular knowledge, but it is a place of man-making, as Swami Ji Maharaj envisioned. All of you assembled here have witnessed the truth of the statement in your own life. In Latin, the word alma mater literally means generous or bountiful mother. True to the spirit of this word, our institutions have nurtured you at a very important phase of your life with love and care. The strength of the bond thus formed between the students and their alma maters and amongst themselves has stood the test of time. The very fact that you have assembled here from all parts of India and maybe from abroad is the standing testimony to the living, vibrant connection that exists between us. Just as a spiritual organization is admired for the number of saints it produces, an educational institution is known for the quality of the students who have passed through its portals, who later blossom into good citizens. By that yardstick, we can be reasonably proud of our accomplishments over the last 100 years. There is a greater public appreciation of our efforts in providing quality education with stress on values. Today, there is a great need for competent individuals who are socially committed, morally strong, and spiritually rooted in the traditions. And Ramakrishna mission, in its own inimitable ways, is silently fulfilling this need at the command of its leader, Swami Vivekananda, by providing man-making, character-building education to the youth of this country. In the context of an educational institution, compared to the students, guardians, teaching and non-teaching staff, it is the association of the alumni with their alma mater that is more permanent. In our context, monks are transferred, students pass out, staff retire, but the alumni remain connected to the institution forever. As a result, they have a greater role to play in the development of their alma maters. Our centers too have to realize the importance of involving ex-students for the growth of their institutions and should accord due respect and importance to the alumni activities. The ex-students should feel wanted when they visit their alma maters. Both our institutions and the alumni associations should work in tandem with a mutual feeling of love and esteem for one another. So many bright and brilliant minds with vast experience of the world have assembled here. I place before you a few questions. Come, let us brainstorm and find out the way forward. Number one, how to stay connected. How to bring all our ex-students under one roof. Is it feasible? 2. How to mobilize the alumni community and strengthen the bonds with their alma maters. 3. How shall we establish synergy between various alumni associations so that we multiply our capacity for doing good? 4. How to discharge our responsibility to the society and help the Ramakrishna movement in its endeavors? 5. There is a sweeping change in the education sector. How can the alumni help us in adapting to the first changes in the education landscape? How they can benefit the current generation of students? These are some of the questions that may be discussed in the deliberations today. Before I wrap up, I once again thank the Vidyapith alumni profusely, especially Sri Dev Kumar Banji, for having remembered me on this occasion. I invoke the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa Deva, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda upon all of us present here today. Sarve bhavantu sukhino, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kuschit dukkhamapnuat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let all be happy. Let all be free from ailments. Let all be blessed with the vision of truth, beauty, and goodness. Let misery touch none. Om, peace, peace, peace. Joy, Swamiji Maharaj Ji ki joy. Thank you so very much.